To coincide with Mental Health Week, Deep Down Arts, in conjunction with other charitable organisations, will be holding the Lived Experience Arts Festival. Joining us in the studio are members of the Comedy Sketch Club, who will be performing a comedy sketch night on May 17th. Lee, Sinead, Cameron. Guys, thanks very much for coming into the studio. Lee, I'm going to start with you. Tell me, how did the Comedy Sketch Club start? What was the kind of motivation behind it?
Well, Paula Matthews, she started up the Deep Down Arts, which is the mental health charity that we sort of work alongside. She started it up and she put a post out asking for people to be involved. I gave her an email, met up. I'd been talking about maybe doing a sketch show the past couple of years. We had a meeting and we thought it might be a good idea, so that's where it sort of all began. Sinead, how did you end up getting involved?
Well, I was a lawyer for many years and packed that in about 2 years ago, and I am now a speech and drama teacher, voiceover and public speaking coach. And I happened to see a post on an actor's Facebook page. They were looking for people to participate in a comedy sketch show, and I thought it sounded like brilliant fun. So I sent Kevin Hatton a message and I came along to the first practice, and I have been there ever since, having a great time.
I mean, how do you go from working in law to doing being part of a comedy sketch club?
Well, our second child was born with a heart problem. He's totally fine now, but I know it sounds like a cliche, but it made me reassess everything about my life, and I realised I wasn't happy in my career. I was far too stressed out. So I decided to teach speech and drama while I was practising law, and I enjoyed it so much I left law then, and then I got into other events like Burns Night, poetry evenings, and comedy appeared to be the next step, really. It's, I think, very important to look after your mental health, and I think comedy is a great outlet for that.
And Lee, you had an interesting kind of career path to get into this as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to university, studied accountancy. I worked as a manager for years in the food industry. I moved back to this country. I'd been living in England and abroad for years. I moved back to be a manufacturing manager at Coca-Cola. But after 14, 15-hour days and we're living an hour away driving, and the kids come along, and I thought, there's no point having to pay lots of money and never seeing your children. So I just packed it in and I took up, as something to do when the kids were small, I took up stand-up comedy. And I'd done that for years, and then I got a bit fed up driving up and down. I was third time to Dublin one week, and then I was driving to the Millennium Forum, and I goes, do you know what, this is not fun anymore. And I just cancelled all my gigs after that and packed it in.
And Cameron, you'd be one of the youngest participants in the group. What attracted you towards the Comedy Sketch Club?
Well, performing arts is something I've had a great interest in from a young age. I started off properly in my A-levels in Start in Bangor. Did performing arts there for 2 years, and then did HND course after that. And then I've done like bits and pieces with companies such as the Rainbow Factory and the Lyric Theatre. I've done like shows with Rainbow Factory and workshops with the Lyric Theatre.
And just Lee, I'd just like to ask you, who is the club for? Is it doesn't seem to be for certain ages? Or
no, it's just it's sort of a rough collection. It's just anyone who wants to be involved. It's basically for anyone with any mental health issues. People can come and be involved as much as they want. You know, you can write, direct, act, everything. You can do everything, or you can just. We have one guy he's a bit quiet, like, you know, and he's come and he's done a bit of writing. No interest in performing at all, but he's and if that's as much as he wants to be involved, that's great. If on down the line he wants to start doing a wee bit of acting, he's more than welcome to. And the idea is we'll have this group, sort of core group. People will go in and out of it. We have 3 people at the minute who are doing Shakespeare down in the Queen's Hall in Ards this weekend coming. So they're going to miss rehearsals this week, but they'll be back next week. So that's sort of the idea with, you know, special actors. They're doing various different things.
Sinead, what is it about the group that has helped you with your mental health? I mean, Is it the socialising with people, or meeting new people, or is it just the art form itself?
I think all of that. I think it's very important to find time for you. We have 2 small children who are great, obviously. I love spending time with them. I work also. I think it's important to have an outlet by which you can express yourself and your skills, meet like-minded people also. All of us in the group are from very different backgrounds, and we have had great fun over the past few weeks.
And you've discovered or possibly developed a new skill whilst part of this club. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a new skill. From early childhood, I've always liked to mimic people, impersonate them, do impressions. From the playground to my speech and drama classes to family events, I was always hauled out to be the one to do voices, really. So I also really love languages and accents. So I think all of that works together, and I do enjoy putting on voices, really, and I find it great fun.
Is this something you get to do as part of the drama?
Yes, I do a couple of different voices now. There's a couple of interesting characters along the way, so perhaps we'll keep that secret for the show.
How important are the arts with dealing with mental health?
I think it's very important, and I think really schools should take into account that it's not all about academia. It's not all about results and doing well in your exams. The arts are very, very important to everyone, and it should be encouraged. And it's such a shame that there's been cuts to funding in recent years. It's important to find an outlet. Life is very, very stressful. It's important to find things that you like, and therefore the arts is a great way to get involved with others, really, and to learn new things, to learn new skills, to try new things, to really think outside the box and to challenge yourself every day, really.
Lee, have you seen progress being made by people in the club? Can you see that kind of that progress in people's mental health?
Yeah, there's one of the girls, she's off doing Shakespeare at the minute, but at the start she would come and she'd have been very quiet. I think because she's come from a more structured acting background, whereas we like to keep it quite loose, and everybody just jumps in, and you don't have to learn word for word, as long as you can change a word here and there and things. But at the start, especially on the group chat, we group chat, we all keep in contact with each other. You would see her writing stuff, and then she would delete it, and then she'd write stuff, and then she'd delete it. But now she's just getting more and more involved in even the group chats, and in the actual rehearsals and stuff. She's happier just to put her opinion forward. She's like, oh, well, what about this, or what about that? So that's sort of what we're trying to get people in and sort of just get their confidence up a little bit, and give them an opportunity to try things that they wouldn't get an opportunity with. Like Cameron has come along with this. Where would someone at that age get an opportunity to write comedy and get it put on stage in a matter of weeks? So it's just giving people an opportunity, an outlet, a chance to get their comedy out there.
And Cameron, you come from a background that's in a way related to performing arts. Do you find you're able to transfer those skills onto other people who possibly, like Lee used to be a butcher, for example, and Sinead used to work in law? Do you find yourself able to share your skills with other people and really socialise and kind of bond with other people that way as well?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think from the whole thing's on mental health, so I've had issues myself with anxiety and being nervous and stuff, but just being in a group like this group here is just coming out of your shell, getting to write, which I haven't had much experience of, but now I'm getting a lot more out, and the acting side as well, just meeting people, getting to chat and socialise about stuff, and just feeling more confident and more comfortable.
What do you think about doing all that helps with your anxiety? Is it just bringing you, centering you a wee bit, taking you into a different moment away from everything else? Or is it just the act of getting thoughts out onto paper maybe and freeing your head up a bit?
It's a bit of both. it's definitely like an escapism where you feel very nervous and anxious, but whenever like I am on stage or I am writing, it's just being very free and loose to just experience and express my thoughts, my ideas in a comfortable environment.
And Lee, can you tell us what's happening on May 17th?
On May the 17th in the Ivy Bar in Newton Ards, we are doing our live performance. So we have a guy coming in, he's going to sing some funny songs for the first 20 minutes or so, and then 45 minutes of sketches, both live and pre-recorded. So there'll be a live sketch and then there's little pre-records in between, you know, to break it up, give the actors a chance to get off stage and different ones back on. 45 minutes of that, another wee quick break, and then a half an hour just to finish off. It's part of the Lived Experience Arts Festival, which is a nationwide mental health initiative for the week. And we're just a part of that. There's a poetry reading, there's a songwriter circle, there's creative writing. If you look up the Deep Down Arts website or their Facebook page, you'll find the full rota of everything that's going on. And
what else is coming up for the Comedy Sketch Club? Is there anything else planned for the rest of the year?
There's a lot of things in the pipeline. We're in chats with a couple of different charities, mental health charities and things, to maybe possibly do something similar for them, as in can we go into them and they'll have a group of people and sort of recreate the comedy club in another area. We're in talks with Marty from the Ivy Bar. We're talking about maybe making this a monthly club where anyone can come along, anyone can write a sketch, grab a couple of people or write a sketch, come along, and our actors will perform it on stage. So we wanted to make it sort of like a loose monthly club where anyone can come along and get involved. We're also looking at possibly a series of podcasts and, you know, various things down the line. I'm in the middle of writing a short film. It's about bullying, anti-bullying type thing. Like, it's not a comedy, but it's something that we'll keep under the umbrella of the sketch club, and we'll try and use as many of the people in the club as we can.
So Sinead, what would you say to other people who would be in a similar situation to maybe you were in, or Cameron or Lee, and who want to come along but they're struggling maybe to make that first step?
I would say to them, what's the worst that can happen? You know, you might be a little bit embarrassed, a little bit nervous. You will find like-minded people who are very supportive in a very safe place. It's great fun. It's something exciting to do when you would otherwise maybe be sitting at home watching TV. So my advice would be, if you're interested, contact us, come along, get out there, enjoy it, and just live your life.
And Cameron, what about you? Would you have a message for the slightly younger generation?
I think Sinead's put it perfectly, but just about being in a nice, comfortable environment. We all get to sit down and have a chat and do what we all love. So it's just about coming along and experiencing it for yourself and just going for it and giving it your all.
Lee, can I just ask you, if people want more information, where can they find that out, and also about the Art Festival itself?
Yeah, well, if you want to find out about the festival, the best place is Deep Down Arts, either their website or their Facebook page. You'll see the full schedule of everything that's going on and availability of tickets and stuff. You want to come along to the Sketch Club, we're on in the Ivy Bar from 9 o'clock on the 17th. It is very limited. There's only about 70 or 80 in it. There's probably, you know, you're going to have to get down early if you want a ticket or you want to get a seat. I'll just mention, we use the Ivy Bar because it's a safe house. So if you have a mental health issue, if you go in there, Marty and there's another one of the staff are trained in safe talk. So, you know, they'll come from behind the bar, sit down and have a chat with you, like, you know, and try and help you out. So that's why the festival is using the Ivy Bar, you know, to do everything, like, which I think is a great thing, you know, because they both tie up. That's what we're trying to do. If you want to come along, you're probably a wee bit late for this show, but we need someone, just something as simple as costumes. You know, somebody just to make sure that, you know, the right wig or the right pair of glasses, or you can come and do as little as that, or you can come and write and act and perform and video and edit and direct, and as much or as little as people want to be involved.
Lee, Sinead and Cameron, thank you all very much for coming in and talking about this with us today.